Okay, seems like a good time to teach you how to do makeup. For those of you who are playing along, because you realize that there is something in this. Plus it's fun, no matter what, it's fun. So this is me, that's my hair, it's growing. I took the clippers to it a few months ago and just took it off, and now it's growing back in, and there's no hair dye in it or anything. I'll do something with it eventually, but I've got wigs and there are only so many hours in the day. So most days, which are not filming days, I just put my boho clothes on or whatever I choose to wear, sports clothes, depends on what I'm doing, or work clothes, painting clothes. And on the days when we film, those are the days that we do hair and makeup. But those are the only days we do, because if I did it every day, there wouldn't be enough time to do everything else. You have to pick and choose, and you have to find ways to minimize things that can be minimized that bear no great importance. Like a wig, it would take me an hour to do hair. Obviously I don't have that hair, but when my hair is longer. Or I could spend 5 minutes adjusting my wig. It's a pretty obvious decision as far as I'm concerned, but I'm a practical person. So these are my eyes. It's really actually been kind of funny that I'm getting all these beautiful compliments on my eyes, because to anyone who knows me or who saw me on social media right before we disappeared all those years ago, the last photos they would have seen of me, my face was pretty messed up. Repeated trauma to the same part of my face led to a massive tumor that grew up into my nose and up into my eye, back to there, down there. So if you look at my teeth, see, I like to call myself no bra long tooth. I just called myself that now. Okay, now I'm gonna call that no bra long tooth. I don't like bras, they're mine, and I'll do what I want with them. So they went in through my mouth, kind of folding back my face, and removed the tumor, and then had to rebuild my jaw. And so there was one initial surgery that removed the tumor, but then there were multiple surgeries to rebuild everything, because of course my body rejected just about everything they tried, until Dr. Shahood, that was my doctor in Queensland, in Brisbane, tried something rather groundbreaking. He used a mesh that's usually used in like knees and joints in their reparation. He tried that on my face because nothing else was working, and lo and behold, it worked. So then of course the titanium had to go in to build back a tooth. So I've got some pretty cool bionic parts. That's just one little surgery, but I mention it because when I hear people say that I have beautiful eyes, I just giggle, because a lot of nerve damage has been done to my right eye from the tumor putting repeated pressure on it, and still to this day, like there's scar tissue and stuff in there, heaps of scar tissue. So it's gonna mess around with your facial expressions, but I've decided that I'm just gonna roll with it. I mean, if my eyes want to do that sometimes. It's really funny, actually. And being like the world's greatest Adam Sandler fans, there's never an Adam Sandler movie without crazy eyes. So I got crazy eyes built in, don't even have to work at it. I'm gonna start my makeup. My eyes are positioned high on my head. As an artist, I'm gonna explain this to you. So if we look and we try to balance my face, my eyes should actually be a little bit lower. So when I put makeup on them, that's how I do it. I put a greater accentuation below the eye than above, which also I've noticed detracts from the right eye does this kind of thing. And it doesn't bother me. It is what it is. It's been that way for years. I'm glad to have an eye. I'm gonna do my makeup. I'm gonna talk less now. Make funny faces. Yeah, sure you'll talk less. Sure you will. We've heard that before. So what am I doing? All right, this is the part you really want to pay attention to. So as you can see, I am not as young as people seem to think that I am. I got you guys fooled. I am going to be 46 at my next birthday, but I've decided that I'm turning 14. More on that later. You got to wait for... This all takes time, guys. And you've got time, I hate to tell you. So, you're welcome. I am going to do the most important part right now. So this is my contour kit that Ruby made me buy, because Ruby taught me all this stuff. She learned it from YouTube, and we've both been learning. So I need to contour the parts that are already naturally defined, but as you can see on video, everything's just a blob if you don't do the right contour. So if you're filming, you need to exaggerate everything, which is super fun because you can totally do all those drag queen looks that you've always secretly admired and wished you finally had somewhere to wear them to. Well, guess what? Staying home, dressed up like a drag queen, is a really, really excellent use of time if you're doing something purposeful with it, filming it, posting it, and then making money, because shared information actually has value. If you haven't figured that already, see that? Contour. A few of you have figured out what I'm doing here. Now, I mean, it's all authentic because there's nothing I can do to change my situation, except what I can do, which is what I am doing, is turning my lemons into the greatest lemonade that ever was. You'll see. Actually, you're already drinking that lemonade, so you know. But it's not just that I want you to drink it. I want you to make the lemonade with me, you see. It's no good to me if you just drink it. That's not the point. I wouldn't have bothered if I didn't think that I could actually teach you guys how to be happy too. Is she teaching happiness? Is that what is happening here? Stay tuned. All right, so I have my father's jaw, which is a very strong jaw, which is awesome, as you will see later, because I can play so many different characters with the right makeup and wig, and you don't know if you're looking at a man or a woman, because I know how to accentuate or downplay any feature, because I'm an artist and I try these things and I figured it out. So now what I want to do, so that first of all, I mean, I'm a fairly slim person, but not skinny, but slim, but I still have the skin of a 45-year-old. So to minimize that, you want dark shadow under your neck. So the total opposite of what we did in the 80s, where the mask of orange makeup, the foundation stuff stopped here. I never did that, but you guys did, and you know you did it, and secretly I laughed behind your backs. I'm still laughing behind your backs, but now I'm doing it in your face. So you want your lightness is across here, down there, across there, but you want your shadow under, you want your shadow to basically hug your face. You want it to frame your face so that wherever you're going, the camera is always drawn to your eyes. And if you don't frame your eyes, then that's not what will happen. Look at me right now. Do my eyes stand out? Mm-mm. It's all makeup. Smoke and mirrors, makeup. It's all rather counterintuitive if you think about it, but that's only because something that we did for years became intuitive. It doesn't mean it was the right thing. It's just you do something long enough, then that's the way it's done. But the truth is, most of us have been doing makeup backwards. Like most things, like showing up on social media to debate when you could actually be creating if you just actually realize and connect the dots that all of these amazing people and all of their viewpoints, when you put all of those things together, you've got this amazing world. I said I was going to be quiet. fucking lied. I say the F word too because I'm a grown woman and I'm not an angel, even if people seem to think that I've got some kind of glow. I'm a grown woman with needs, wants, all the normal things that everybody else has. I just happen to have lived in hiding for almost a decade with my daughter, 8 years. Oh wait, we're not in hiding anymore, but we're still in self-isolation. I'll break it down mathematically eventually. Doesn't matter right now. I'm going to be filming today. Well, I am right now, but I mean proper filming. I don't know when I'll actually include this in something, but it's good to have it because I think a lot of you underestimate how much you're able to do and how much the rest of this illusion is actually just simple steps that you follow. That's all it is. You do it every time you get dressed for work, right? You're not getting dressed as yourself when you go to the office. Now here's the difference though. I am finding myself, and I have discovered recently that I really am getting in touch with my inner warrior. And she doesn't look like Xena. In fact, she's a very surprising person. She's a very soft person, softer than I've ever been actually. Yeah, I'm just going for it. I'll do the abs next. It's the only way they're going to be there. Just kidding. I'm not going to put makeup under my shirt. That's just stupid. If I took the shirt off, though, you bet I would. All right, I think I've done pretty well with that. I can always come back. Now, next thing I'll do is blush. Blush is important because I find that when I don't put enough blush for video, I get a sallow tone. People have commented on yellow. And see, when I post things to you guys, you're all part of research and development. I take your feedback and I make adjustments. And when somebody told me I looked yellow the other day, I then looked at the photo online and they were absolutely right. So instead of redoing the whole makeup, I added a bit of blush and I tweaked my wardrobe because the clothing I was wearing was just wasn't working. So the next thing you knew, I was a kitty cat dancing around in my sexy queen Constance Hall skirt. If you're following, by the way, you'll see that there's something going on behind the scenes there. Lots of things. It's just so fun for me. I know all the secrets and you know none. Used to that. It's just reality for me. Finally, I get to have some fun with it. About fucking time, to be honest. It's my turn to have a little bit of fun. Ruby's too, and she is. You know that I'm just her puppet. I'm like, Ruby, so this is what happened. So let's have a look. And she says, yeah, do this. So I do it. So far, doing everything my 10-year-old, even when she was a 9-year-old, I was doing it. But everything she says that makes sense, I do it. It's all paying off. Just listen to our kids. All right, so there I've done my cheeks. You see that? I know the lighting's on a funny angle, but you know, gotta just do our best here. Get what you get and you don't get upset, guys. All right, I'm very happy with that. The eyes. Oh, I'll use the small. I line my eyes first. Most people don't do that, but I've found that it's less time consuming because I smudge with the powder. I get the line because I need the detail, but the line doesn't have to be perfect because now that's another thing at my age is I find that more of a soft, smoky look makes me look younger than if I try to do a clearly defined line because that clearly defined line only draws attention to the wrinkles that I don't have, but if I did. Of course I have wrinkles. This is a real woman you are watching here. Real, normal person who knows that she doesn't wake up in the morning with all those tools in place that she'd like in place, but at every step I have to choose what's a priority, because there are only 24 hours in the day, and even if I work for 15 to 20 of them, it's still not enough. So I'm just outlining. You'll notice I go a little heavy on the outer under eye. That's going to be smudged. I'm fully lining the eye, which I wouldn't have recommended 20 years ago. But these are all new rules for filming. If you are filming yourself, just like we are, and you look back and you don't like something, most things, if you go onto YouTube, you will find tutorials to teach you how to fix anything or create anything. Everything we are doing that we didn't know how to do before, we have learned online. And it is a cornucopia of knowledge and skill, and we're just getting started. How do you like the tunes? I'm getting in touch with my inner hippie. I suppose it's apropos to some extent, though nothing's really apropos in such a unique situation as ours, so it's a mashup. It's a mashup of all the things that just connect with us, and there's no predicting what will. But we know when something does, because we can feel it, and we just go with it. And that is a great way to live. When you know that your intentions are good and that you have no malice in your heart whatsoever, you can trust yourself to explore. Try things instead of just sitting back and wondering and debating, having conversations about things that aren't meant to be conversations. Some things are meant to be experiences. Right? So I'm lined, messy lines, because it doesn't matter. That's just the jumping off point. Oh, by the way, my eyebrows. Yeah, they're so gray that and wiry that I have to tweeze most of what's there. So I just draw them on when I do it. It's all still me. It's just reframing. Just reframing what's already there. I don't need to go and get anything injected. I can find ways to hide things that I don't want seen. If you want to inject things, that's cool too. I've tried that. When I tried Botox on my forehead, it made and it did a good job of my forehead. It did. I did it for about a year and it made me feel better. And when I say I did it for a year, that means I've done it 4 times, because that's what it took. But it made my eyes squinty. And I thought, well, but my personality is in my mouth and my eyes, so why am I taking away my personality for the sake of not having wrinkles? Of course I have wrinkles. Not only am I 45, but I have survived several attempts at my life. I've earned a few wrinkles. In fact, even if that weren't the case, when did wrinkles become unsexy? Like, where do these silly rules come from? I know I'm sexy, wrinkles and all. Things I have to teach you guys. Homeschooling with the cookie. It's the best. All right. So I have green eyes, and Ruby also has green eyes, so we choose plums and purples to make them those spooky eyes that you see on camera. Well, if you look at a color chart, when you've got kind of pale green hazel eyes, some days mine are solid green, some days they're more hazel. It all depends on whatever, I don't know. Ruby's are quite green. She has incredible eyes. But yeah, plum and violet. It's all just art, guys. And way more fun than putting makeup on to go to the office, I'll tell you that much. All right, so there is no There's nothing that special to this. I am just filling it in. And I do fill in the upper. I find that I'm able to create a better balance on the two eyes because this one gets hooded as the day goes on and it starts to do these things. See, crazy eye. But if I've colored it in a little bit more on the top but accentuated the lower lid, you don't see those quirky motions on video as much as you would otherwise. How do I know this? Well, I've been practicing and practicing. You see, we have an entire year of footage in one computer. Some of it that I've edited and done things with, and some of it that just sits there because it was all the learning process and there will be a time to share it, but that time's not now. Right now, we need to live in the present together. We need to live right in this moment, all of us together. It's probably the most important thing that I'm doing here is maybe reminding everyone of what that looks like. You know, if you're preoccupied with what you're gonna have for dinner, even that is not living in the moment. Who gives a shit? I mean, if you eat a carrot, a pickle, and a slice of cheese for dinner, great, you ate, you're gonna survive. It's not worth a big conversation. We seem to have gotten, but if your passion is cooking and food, then make it a conversation. But I'm pretty sure people were able to figure out their meals long before they asked everyone on Facebook what they should eat. Pretty sure. Can't be 100% certain of anything anymore, but that's what my recollection tells me about the real world. All right, so you see how I'm building the outer eye? The lower outer eye. And now as I look closer, you see what my freaky eye does? Getting there. So I like my big brush now. That's plum in my small palette, but I do find I like to add the actual purple in because I've found that on video, it just gives that little extra depth that needs to be there. Now, when Ruby sees me with this makeup, she always says, whoa! She says I look like James Charles. But you're watching on video, and that's not what you're seeing. You see a lot going on, and there is a lot going on to this face, but it's not picking up on the camera, is it? That's why I've got you on this particular angle, by the way, so that when we go start to end, you'll see these subtle differences, and you'll get it. Now, this can be done more quickly. I have terrible arthritis, so I have to use tools a little differently than I used to, especially since breaking my hand. I had to learn how to just hold brushes differently, and sometimes they just go flying across the room, which cracks me up every time and always will, I'm sure. Now, the finer one, this comes to a point, but it has some girth. You know, short and stubby can be a good thing. Before I put any color, I want to just smudge that because I see it's a bit gloopy. There. So much effort into smudging, that's all I had to do. Don't worry about your eyeliner if you know you're going to do this because it's so easy to fix. Alright. Another purple again. So, I have lowered my eyes on my face. Joni Mitchell.
He kept my camera himself.
By the way, I have the super magnified mirror. Ruby uses the regular mirror side on the mirror. I use the magnified side. Because otherwise, I'm bound to stick all of these tools straight up my nose. Oops. Everybody makes mistakes. My 10-year-old can get through this. So can we. The first time Ruby did my makeup, and she had begged me for quite some time. The only reason I had said no is that I had a skin condition at the time. You can probably see a few little marks. I've faded out and resolved it now, but my body, I have autoimmune disease, and it was holding on to something, and I was getting cysts all over my face, probably mostly stress induced. If you think you know stress, it's very unlikely that you know stress like I know stress. So, yeah, that was happening. But I eventually was having a good week and let her do my makeup, and boy, am I glad I did. Because everything I expected was exactly the opposite of what she did. She reshaped my face. She gave me a new face. And that's how I realized that, wait a minute, so what if my face has been smashed in and had multiple operations to rebuild it? I'm an artist, and I can make things look however I want to make them look. It's mine, and I can do what I want with it. Alright, that's a little bit dark right there. Sometimes you have to just take a step back and do your adjustments according to where your face is at the moment. My eye is different every day, and it's different at any given time of the day. So it's just, it is what it is. Okay, this is the lighter shade. I'm just gonna, this is like a silvery white. I'm just building out this pocket. Another part of the face that's often underestimated in how its impact can be. So by building that up with this lighter shade, then when I do my eyebrows, I have increased the area of that eye space so that the camera is really going to be drawn to it. I mean, it's just simple math, really. Everything is simple math. We don't always realize it at the time. Alright, happy with that. Now, white liner. Inside edge of the lower lid for contrast. You need contrast on film if you want pop. Otherwise, everything is just blursula, as they say on Friends. Alright, gross, huh? Jeez, this is fun to do. I have no idea. Alright, time to do the eyebrows. I have learned my lesson, and I always clean the brush before I use it because I gave myself bright lime green eyebrows one day after Ruby had her makeup. This is really, really fun, actually. Here's the one that I like. Alright. So, brown. Doesn't matter what wig I'm wearing, I always go for the brown. And now this eyebrow is higher than that one. So I immediately know that I want to move my spot a bit lower. I'm going to put a spot on the other side as well, because I'll build out from these spots. So I'm going to start by just balancing my face. I'm going to try not to give myself a unibrow. I gave myself a unibrow the other day, and that was funny as... It's amazing how bad eyebrows can totally make your face look kooky. And when you already do the wacky eye thing, just, you know, it's just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. If you're wondering where Ruby is, she's sound asleep. It is an interesting schedule we're on. See, now I'm building below. I'm aiming, this is my higher eyebrow, so I know that I need to balance it with the other one by building under the brow ever so slightly. I'm actually just going on the brow, but it's this illusion that you create. You have to put the emphasis on the right syllable. And you build out, and then... Now keep in mind, I don't do anything to my eyebrows except for tweeze the kooky gray ones. I don't do anything at all to me, except for, you know, the hygienic maintenance stuff, the stuff that just would be gross not to do. But I don't have time to preoccupy myself with something so frivolous. This is a frivolity to me because when I'm doing this, it takes a lot of time. So I know there's other things I could be doing, but now see, I'm building a little higher on the eyebrow. This is my eye with the smaller space between the eye and the brow. Now, if you're looking at this inner, you know that if you're looking here, you're gonna see that it's pretty bold, but that's okay because there's another step after this. So don't worry if that's a little bit globby and not quite the perfect shape. It's so easy to fix, so don't preoccupy yourself with it. Just keep moving and get the contrast that you need. Let's see, how's my balance? Just about there. I'm blind as a bat, so that makes this extra super duper fun. One of the other side effects of having a severely damaged face from trauma is that things we need to correct for them to be more visually appealing. I know that sounds negative, but it's a fact. When I look in the mirror and I see my face more balanced, and I'm not looking at the results of being repeatedly beaten, it makes me feel better. So just keep that in mind. Your reasons for doing things matter a lot more than what you're actually doing most of the time. Is there what dictate whether it's something you're doing now that's just for now, or whether it's something that's building something forever. Deep! Alright, paler brown. Remember I said don't worry about if it's globby, and it is a little bit, but I'm going to take my paler brown and I'm going to build this, see, right here, to build my nose on film, which also can disappear. Often you'll see someone and their nose looks strange in a photograph, and it's not their nose, it's the makeup's been done differently than usual, and so things are being accentuated that aren't ordinarily accentuated. See, that imperfect shape is now just fine. All right. This is the part that freaks people out. Curly eyelashes. And then mascara. It's these tiny jobs that are really tricky for me. My hands don't like to grip. They like to do everything else instead. Thirsty. Pardon me. Gosh, actually, I can't believe how much my hair has grown. It's amazing what can happen when you just ignore something. You want to get this right before you start mucking about with the mascara. Trust me. Going back in with this, with mascara on, it's gross. There's a visual that you'll never unsee. Weird, it's not curling right. There we go. Yes, I do this multiple times. And yes, I have blonde eyelashes. Lucky me. Ruby's got long, thick, black eyelashes. They're so beautiful. She's a lucky little monkey. I have mascara somewhere. Just don't know where. And up in here. It's loose somewhere. By the way, I always have a tissue. Wipe things clean before you throw them across the desk and onto the floor. And I'm out of jail now. Yeah! Got it on my first try. Right, mascara. I can't see it here, but I know it's gotta be here. Kiddo did this last, and it may be somewhere else, which is cool too, as long as I find it. I guess I could use the other mascara. It's not the one I usually use. It's not waterproof, or this one's waterproof. That's fine. Be a little bit of a nuisance to take off, but it's not the end of the world. Yes, I do have eyelashes. They're just blonde. And that makes this so satisfying to do. To see my eyelashes. Yay. Yeah, I think I'm falling in love with you. When I get that crazy feeling, I know I'm in trouble again. I'm in trouble, but you remember when I get when I sweet talk you make these men. And no, this isn't what I always listen to, but I do find this stuff very relaxing when I'm working. Time and a place for everything. Yeah, I think I'm falling in love too fast. Trying to sing and put mascara on, probably not the smartest thing in there. Although they do say it's easier to do with your mouth open. I don't think that's what they mean. I love this song, but I have to say my favorite version of this is Katie Lang, who I love. She is such an inspiration. Raw talent and a heart of gold. I mean, what else could the world want? Now I remember why I don't like this mascara very much. Younger, I would only put mascara on my upper lashes, and it worked. It looked really pretty, but that was all I wore too. I would just put a little bit of mascara, and that was it. I was young and naturally beautiful, and that did the job. Now I find that it's actually the lower lashes and the lower part of my eye that is a better focus area for a softer look. That's just my opinion, and everyone is different, and everyone's allowed to do what makes them happy. And this is just how I feel today. Tomorrow, I may say something entirely different, and when I say that, I'll mean that too. Nobody's locked into one thing. Life's too short to do that. Bloody hard work when you don't have the best control of your hands, but you get there. Patience. I'll be doing a lot of filming today. I have a lot of things that have suddenly kind of started making sense to me and I'm feeling better about, so it's time to talk. I have to choose at every stage what I can actually handle. And even though I can handle information and I can handle what's going on, it doesn't mean that I can also then handle sharing that, because sharing means that I'm then inviting you all in with your opinions and viewpoints and your own experiences. And what I found to this point, oh, this eye is going better than the other, although I shouldn't jinx it. I mean, I've loved all of the messages from everybody, but I've also realized that it's very emotionally exhausting for me because I do actually really, really care. And when people share their own story with me, it means a lot. And some days I can only deal with my own story, as well as being a mom to Ruby and Frankie and all the stuff that we have to go through every day. We lost our baby Luna last week, and you know what? We're still struggling with it. People might think that, well, it's just a bird. Well, in our family, in our little world here, every time we would go from one room to another, we would slide that whole aviary with us. Luna has been included in everything. Her whole house came with us everywhere we went, and she was a part of everything. When we don't hear her song, it's very quiet. And oh my gosh, she would sing along with the music, which was just beautiful. So, as you can imagine, I've had a lot on my plate. So picking and choosing what modes of communication are the right ones at the right moment has been the most important thing at this early stage for me. I wish there was just a mascara gun Although I guess I don't really want to shoot myself in the eyes, do I? Scratch the mascara gun idea. Worst idea ever. Here, let me help you with that. Just hold still. Pew pew. Yeah. Not all my ideas are gems. All right. Eyes are almost. Mascara is so important. It's your eye feathers. Everybody wants pretty eye feathers. All right. Happy with that. What do you think? You can't see. Hang on. Let's do this way. Spooky. It's just me, little guy. Can you see Frankie? He's always right there. Always. Most loyal little guy ever. All right, where are we gonna go today? I'm wearing the brighter red hair, so I'm gonna go with a slightly deeper lip. And yes, these are my lips. I'm very fortunate to have a big, beautiful smile, even if it has been altered over the years. It's still mine, and I'm just glad I'm still smiling. This is the hardest thing for me to do. I don't have those lips that have this clear, solid line. When I draw them too big, it's so funny. You love me, Bonnie. Yeah, singing while doing lip liner, also not great. By the way, to those people who do get lip injections, I have no problem with that. Do what makes you happy. I don't need to, but who knows? If I did, I might do it. Ruby says she wants to have her belly fat put in her lips. Brown tinge to it, but that doesn't matter. It's not the color. We'll land in. Just building the base. Now, where did I put the lid? I'm forever losing lids and my glasses. Oh, it's right in there. Yeah. Hi, buddy. You love me. Oh, I found the other mascara. Doesn't matter. kiss my lips all the time. And it doesn't matter. Nobody gets hurt. Now, I am not claiming to be a makeup artist because I'm not. I'm just someone who figures stuff out. And guess what? That's probably what most makeup artists were before they became makeup artists too. All right, so here it is shiny. Ooh! Close one. Oh, that could have been a mess. Okay. Pretty? Not bad, huh? And now I'm gonna go. All right. Very happy with that. So, makeup goes away. So we've got everything right here. And it just slides right under the table because we do this so regularly that we had to make it just practical to do quickly. And when we're filming, what's under our table is never in the shot. So this is where everything happens. I'm sitting at the dining room table, which is also my studio, our studio. It's our music studio. It's our work studio. It's our office. It's like it's almost like you're flying the mothership when you're sitting at the desk here, and it's a great feeling. You're at the helm, and that's where we analyze data and make decisions, and that's where magic happens. And I mean, why have a desk in a corner or in a room when you can have just the command center right in the middle of the house overlooking everything? And that's how I like it, because that way I'm always with my girl. I'm still able to focus. I'm very lucky that Ruby is a very focused person just like me, so we can be in the same room and not say a word to each other even once, but we're together, and that's the way we like it. So there we go. I've just put all my makeup away effortlessly, and then, oops. So I roll my trolley. This was a gift, I think, or we bought it, doesn't matter. It came from friends. And under the desk it goes until next time. So we're doing something fun today, which is trying out a new wig. But it's a cheap wig, so it doesn't really have like a hairline. This is where it gets really fun. But I knew that, and I didn't care, because for this particular look, hairline doesn't matter, because I like hair bands. So this is on deck. Take it off the stand. Now that's not the right color hair clip. I'll need a different color. It's gonna take a little bit of adjusting. So first thing, hairband on and around my neck. Next thing, this hairband out. I wear them all the time now because I have to get used to having something on my head, because I'm often actually rehearsing, which means singing and dancing with a microphone, which is a headset mic and a wig. So the only way I am going to be really, really good and ready is by practicing. And I mean, you don't think that people like Miley Cyrus show up for a show where she's gonna have to run, sing, dance without training for that, do you? She probably got all duded up in whatever she had to wear and everything else, and did it on a treadmill 100 times before she ever ever got out and did it in front of people. All right, so wig cap is on. New wig. I haven't brushed this one yet. I'll get to that. Tell me why. See, funny hairline, but that does not matter. Bold, isn't it? But it's fun. And with the color scheme that I am using, the reds and the blues are very soothing for people, and they make them feel warm and loved. Do you know how I know? I don't, I just made that up. I can do that too. If you guys can make shit up, so can I. All right, so that's on. I need to find the knob. So I'm going to need a couple of hair clips to attach this to the wig, but this is where we're headed today. Fun, huh?